guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Again, my name is Desayo Ajishagiri, and this is the Proverbs 418 Millennial YouTube channel. And I think I'm getting more comfortable doing this. So guys, today I wanted to talk about renting versus buying. First of all, look at my African print though. Okay, I'm done. All right, so today I want to talk about renting versus buying. So when you talk about renting a place to stay or buying a place to stay, of course, or buying for investment, let's talk about, buying, to live in, not necessarily for investments. And the reason why those are two different categories is because buying to invest is a whole different ballgame, and we kind of have to talk about different criteria and things to consider before you do that. But if you want to buy a place such that you can live in it, we can compare that to renting. Now, we're going to use numbers just so that we can be a little bit more specific with our examples. So for instance, currently you pay $1,000 in rent. Now, I'm just using a flat number. You can either dial that back or, extrapolate to make sure that that's kind of hitting the number that you're looking for. And guys, I did my makeup myself. Hey, if you know me, I'm not like this. I'm just taking advantage of the moment, okay? I have plans. Anyway, while we're here. So if you pay $1,000 in rent, right? And you've done that for maybe a couple months or a couple years and you're thinking about buying something. Now, if you want to buy something, you have to think about how much, overage you're going to be paying in rent now or in mortgage. The idea behind everything is you have all this philosophy out there that, you shouldn't spend more than 30% of your income on rent or, mortgage or something. And some people have some people say 25%. Ideally for me, it's living for free, okay? That's my hustle. If I can live for free forever, sign me up. Even if I can live for free in a mansion that I want, sign me up, okay? Give me a house for free and I'll be there, okay? Because whether it's 25% or 30% of your income, that's still chunky, okay, to pay for rent. Now, can we all live for free? Probably not, okay? And that's why we have to talk about the analysis of it. So if you're renting and your rent comes up to $1,000 a month and you can afford that, say you make $4,000 a month or you make $5,000 a month, if you make $10,000 a month even, that's still a tenth of your income, right? Now, if you're thinking about buying, you also have to consider all the things that come with buying. So all the responsibilities of fixing the property, or if something goes wrong, you have to pay for your own insurance, and not just insurance on the loan that you're getting, but also the home insurance. But not even just the home insurance. You also have to think about insurance on the things, the appliances on the home, as opposed to if you were renting. Whatever the landlord or the management company for that rental apartment will probably take care of those things. But in this situation, you have to take care of it yourself. But all those things aside, assuming that utilities are going to be similar and things like that, let's talk about the overage, right? So if you're renting a room. Or if you're smart, some things I did before, you rent, a couple rooms so you can do Airbnb in some and then kind of net out or reduce your own rent. It worked for me. I lived for free for a very long time. Actually, just because of, rent in New York City, because I had 2 rooms and I was Airbnb-ing one out of them. And that paid for my actual full rent. It was a hack. Now, if you do that, and it's not a problem with the management company. I know some management companies in the US kind of don't let you do all this Airbnb things because they're trying to be sly and whatever. If you could do that, then why do you need to buy? We can talk about equity later, but if you already know that you're keeping your rent to a minimum and you can invest your money in some other way, then maybe, and you don't want to deal with people and things like that, then maybe keep renting, okay? However, if you think about buying such that you can again do the same thing, and maybe your management company is not doing kind of giving you grief and they don't want you to do Airbnb, or they don't want you to rent a part of the home that you're renting from them out. And you want to get your own thing so you can, be more flexible and do a little bit more, with your space. In that situation, then you have to ask yourself a couple questions. Now, one, is do you like people? Because renting is synonymous to people. You're going to have to interact with people. If you have to put people in your space, do you like people in your space? Because if you don't, then don't do it. There's no need for you to go down that rabbit hole of trying to get people and trying to whatever, and you actually feel very uncomfortable with that. Don't try to get yourself into all of that if that is a problem for you. Okay, if you don't like people, if you don't like people in your space, if you don't like minor inconveniences, say like someone using the kitchen and not putting the pot back where they should put it, or the dish back where it should be. I mean, those like slight things that can just trigger you. If you know that that's not your person, please don't do it, because it's going to happen. Okay, and at that point the money you're getting might not be worth it. Now, if that actually icks you and you're just like, you know what, I can deal with it because I know that the benefit I'm getting from that is okay for me, I can deal with a little bit of the overages and a little bit of the excesses, then maybe you should consider it, right? You would only need to buy if you feel like the benefit you're going to get from buying, exceeds the benefit you're going to get from renting. There's no hard and fast rule to this thing at all. There is none at all. No one can tell you what to do except, on an individual case-by-case basis. You should know, however, that buying comes with more responsibilities. Now, I started out with a rough, $1,000 kind of flat line. But say now you're trying to buy, right, and your mortgage is about $2,000 a month. $2,000 all inclusive, your taxes are included, your insurance is included, and all of that stuff. Flatline $2,000 a month. Now you are actually doubling, right? You're doubling your rent, right? However, in this $2,000 a month, you actually have 2 extra rooms that you can rent out, and you know that average rent in the area where you stay is about $750, right? Maybe, and these are just rough guesstimates even. And you know that, I can rent out 2 of those rooms, and $750 plus $750, you're gonna be around $1,500, and that's excluding utilities, because people are gonna pay their own utilities. Again, hack, and I'm telling you, this is all a hack. Now you're gonna get $1,500, right? But you still have to come out of pocket $500. Look, now you're going to go from paying $1,000 to paying half of $1,000, and that's now, you're cutting down by 50% whatever you used to spend on rent. That is a deal, okay? That is a deal, especially because you're also going to be getting equity from kind of what we've talked about now. So you're going to be, once you buy the property, the day you buy the property is yours. However much you paid for it, it's kind of sealed in with the bank. And then, whatever, if the property appreciates, the overage between how much you owe in the bank and how much the property is appreciated is called equity, and that equity is yours now. So you're paying half of what you would pay if you were renting. You're paying that in your mortgage, but you're also making equity. So that does make sense. It is a deal. However, the responsibilities still abound. If something breaks in your house, you have to make sure that you get home appliances insurance, one. So that's a little bit of what's going to eat into your your budget. Also, you have to make sure that you have renters. So you can't just be like, my rooms are empty. If your rooms are empty, guess what? You're going to have to pay $2,000, and you don't want that, right? So that is additional work on you. But guess what? That's why it's a side hustle. You're going to have to hustle to make sure that your rooms are never empty, okay? And you're going to have to make sure that you have 6 months of mortgage saved up, because, things can go crazy anytime, and you don't want to be caught without paying your mortgage. We don't want to be there. So again, buying versus renting, this is a very, very brief video or analysis of how to think about whether or not to go the buying route or to keep renting. If you don't like people in your space, sweetie, keep renting. And keep renting your little studio, or your little 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, whatever works for you, keep renting. But if you know that you want a house hack, this is not your dream home. You're not trying to buy your dream home now, right? You're just trying to reduce how much you spend on rent. You can buy. In fact, I've seen situations where people actually buy. Their mortgage is about $2,000, but they have like 4 bedrooms, and those 4 bedrooms in the area, their rent is about, $700, $800. 8 times 3. Boom, you have more than your mortgage, and all of a sudden you're making extra income on that home that you bought. You are paying your mortgage off. So for instance, in this last example that I gave, you have 4 bedrooms, you're living in one, you're renting out 3 of them. The rent in the area, let's say $700, that's $2,100, right? Let's say it's $800, that's $2,400. Guess what? You have $100 extra that's coming to you every month, or $400 extra that's coming to you every month. And so any type of overages or any type of work that you need done in the house or whatever, you can use that extra couple $100 to either pay for, home appliances insurance, or pay for whatever things, and you actually have a couple more money in your that you can begin to use, spend on food or savings or whatever. That is how to house hack. If that's what if you know that I can deal with people in my space, I really don't, give two about it, then maybe think about it. And if you can afford a down payment, eventually you're gonna break even, because guess what? You're living for free. That money that you're putting back in your pocket, the way you calculate if you've broken even is every month that you've now lived in that house and you've not had to pay rent, or you've had to pay less rent, is money back in your pocket. And then that way you can calculate how much you put down for your down payment. After a couple months, or 10 months, whatever, I don't know how much your down payment would be, then you would have broken even. And then going forward, every money that you put in your pocket is now your money. And remember, you're gonna get equity. So for me, if you know that you can go the people route, do it. If you know that you cannot, don't do it. If you know that you don't have the down payment, wait till you get the down payment. There are just so many wings and slices and dices to this thing. Ebbs and flows. There's so many, ups and downs with these things. There's some things that you have to be cognizant of, or there's some things that I would want you to, kind of think through a little bit more. Things like your loan type, things like your interest rate, things like your credit score, things like, are you ready for this level of responsibility? I mean, there's so many different things you need to think about, but it is very doable. All right, I hope this has been super helpful to you. I really enjoyed recording this video. I could talk about this all day. So if you have any specific questions, please drop them down below or reach out to me. Hit the subscribe button right there. Follow me on social media, DM me, WhatsApp me, Twitter, whatever. Let's have this conversation, because I think this is very important as we go and as we grow in our careers, as we, get into our 30s, our 40s, wherever you are in life, at your 50s, it's never too late and it's never too early to get started. Let's just have the conversation. Let's see where you are. Let's see how we can make it work, because guess what? There is always a way. If you're determined to get away, you will find a way. You will find a way. Like my mom always says something in Yoruba, something around, and bari mon kon loma, I don't know how to say it, but Loma, find the way of it. So for my viewers that are not Nigerian, I'm Nigerian, by the way, I don't think I've ever said that. Nigerian, I'm Yoruba, and I will bring a little bit of that flow and things and style into my vlog. But yeah, if you want something, you can always get it, but always think through the reasons why you want it, and think through the pros, the cons, the responsibilities of it. But really, we can get things done. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm your girl Desire. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on social media. And I'll see you guys next time.